You've probably heard the name Palantir tossed around in tech circles, finance headlines, or political debates. But ask 10 people what Palantir actually does, and you'll likely get 10 different answers. Some say it's a government spy tool, others call it a data company, and a few claim it's the most powerful AI company you've never used. Here's the truth. Palantir isn't building apps or gadgets. It builds platforms that make sense of massive amounts of data used by the military, hospitals, Fortune 500 companies, and intelligence agencies alike. They're not just helping people collect data. They're helping them decide what to do with it. And in a world that runs on data, that's a lot of power. So let's ask the real question. Do you think a company like this should have so much control over the decisions that shape society? Comment your thoughts below. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what Palantir does and why it could affect everything from how governments fight wars to how businesses make decisions. Palantir might sound like just another tech company, but it's anything but ordinary. This is a firm that works with the CIA, the Pentagon, major banks, police departments, and even hospitals. And yet, most people have no idea what it actually does. That's a problem, because Palantir isn't just processing data behind the scenes. It's helping make decisions that shape public policy, military action, and business strategy. If you've ever wondered how governments find terror suspects, how hospitals track pandemics, or how corporations reduce waste, Palantir's fingerprints might be on it. And in a world where artificial intelligence is advancing fast, companies like Palantir are becoming even more influential. They're turning data into strategy and strategy into action. Whether you're an investor, a citizen concerned about privacy, or just trying to understand how modern power works, knowing what Palantir does gives you a front row seat to how data is reshaping the world. Because this isn't just about code and computers, it's about who holds the tools that influence decisions on a massive scale. Palantir was founded in 2003 by Peter Thiel, who also helped start PayPal, and a small team of engineers who believed data could be used to stop crime and terrorism. They named the company after the Palantir stones from The Lord of the Rings, which gave users the power to see anything happening in the world. That idea, seeing everything clearly through data, became the core of their mission. Their first major client, the US government. After September 11th, agencies like the CIA and FBI were drowning in fragmented data. Palantir stepped in to connect the dots, to help analysts detect patterns, prevent threats, and make sense of chaos. But it wasn't just about surveillance. From the beginning, Palantir positioned itself as a tool for decision-making. The goal wasn't to replace humans with algorithms, but to empower humans with better insights. That mission has since expanded far beyond national security and into the heart of global business, healthcare, and AI development. At the heart of Palantir's business are its software platforms. Massive systems that take raw data and turn it into clear, usable insight. These platforms aren't consumer apps. You won't find them in the App Store. They're built for institutions that manage incredibly complex operations. Let's break down the 4 key products. First, Gotham. This is where it all started. Gotham is Palantir's platform for government agencies, used by intelligence services, law enforcement, and defense departments. It integrates huge volumes of data. Criminal records, financial transactions, phone logs, satellite images, and presents them in a way analysts can actually use. Instead of sifting through millions of files manually, agencies can run complex queries, spot suspicious activity, and visualize links between people, places, and events. Gotham is used to track terror suspects, combat fraud, and even assist in military operations. Second, Foundry. Foundry is Palantir's answer to the private sector. Businesses use it to improve operations, cut costs, and make smarter decisions. Foundry connects siloed data, like supply chains, logistics, and customer behavior, and helps companies simulate scenarios, monitor performance, and optimize outcomes. Think of a car manufacturer using Foundry to see how delays in a factory in Germany might ripple through their US dealerships, or an energy company planning how to shift resources after a weather disaster. Third, Apollo. If Gotham and Foundry are the brains, Apollo is the nervous system. It's the platform that keeps everything running, deploying updates, ensuring security, and managing cloud or on-premise operations. Apollo allows Palantir software to run seamlessly across environments, even in highly sensitive defense networks or on disconnected battlefields. It also enables Palantir software to adapt and scale in real time, critical for clients who can't afford downtime or performance issues. Fourth, AIP, Artificial Intelligence Platform. The newest piece in Palantir's toolkit is AIP, which integrates large language models and AI into decision-making workflows. But instead of using AI as a black box, AIP is designed to keep humans in control. It's structured to maintain traceability, governance, and context, so decisions are explainable, auditable, and aligned with company or government policy. In short, Palantir doesn't just collect or display data, it gives users tools to act on it responsibly and at scale. For all its innovation, Palantir has drawn intense criticism over the years. Much of that stems from the very nature of what it does. Working with sensitive data, often in secret, and influencing high-stakes decisions in government and business. Civil rights groups have raised concerns about how Palantir's tools have been used by law enforcement and immigration agencies, particularly in surveillance and deportation efforts. Critics argue that its platforms can be misused to profile individuals or communities, especially when transparency is lacking. There are also broader worries about the role of private companies in public sector decisions. When a for-profit firm becomes deeply embedded in military operations or health policy, who's really in charge? Palantir defends its practices by saying its software is just a tool. How it's used is up to the client. Still, the ethical questions remain. In a world driven by data, power doesn't just come from owning information, but from deciding how it gets used. So why should any of this matter to you? Because Palantir isn't just influencing governments or giant corporations. It's quietly shaping the systems that impact your daily life. From the supply chains that stock your grocery store, to the algorithms that manage your healthcare data, to the policies that guide national security, Palantir's platforms are involved in decisions that ripple across society. This isn't just about data, it's about how decisions are made, who has access to information, who interprets it, and who gets left out. The shift toward data-driven decision-making can make systems more efficient, but it also raises new concerns about transparency, accountability, and control. Understanding what Palantir does helps you understand how modern institutions actually work. It reveals the hidden infrastructure behind the scenes, where data becomes influence and influence becomes power. Whether you're a voter, a business leader, or simply someone trying to make sense of the digital age, knowing what companies like Palantir do puts you in a stronger position, because the more data shapes our world, the more important it is to know who's driving the decisions and what tools they're using to do it. Palantir isn't your typical tech company. It doesn't sell to consumers, and it rarely talks about what it's doing publicly. But behind the scenes, it's helping the world's most powerful institutions make sense of chaos, spot patterns in data, and take action fast. From fighting terrorism to improving hospital logistics to running corporate operations, Palantir software is deeply embedded in how modern decisions get made. And as artificial intelligence becomes a bigger part of that process, Palantir's role is only growing. But with that power comes a critical question. Who gets to make the decisions when software shapes reality? As the world becomes more data-driven, companies like Palantir are setting the rules, often out of view. That's why understanding what they do isn't just about tech. It's about accountability, ethics, and the future of decision-making itself. So what do you think? Is Palantir building a smarter world, or one we should be more cautious about? Comment below with your take. And if you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like and subscribe, because we've got more deep dives coming on the companies and technologies quietly shaping the world around you.